easily doable without the wheel mix, but once you get down there, you're doing anything you can to shave off of any time you can. And wheel is definitely one of the options that you have. And we are off.
Yeah, Law's PB is still about 51, so before you get under 50, I don't know about that.
Yeah, no mix for Mayazumi. Going with the traditional no mix route. Law's taking 2 damage that he absolutely doesn't want to in 1-1.
No, but there's a maximum tomato here,
Yeah,
which helps, and it's quick.
it helps, but you typically don't want to go out of your way too much. Yeah. Maya being the first one out, and Law's just barely behind. This is the first room of 1-2 is just a movement section. As long as you time your jumps properly, it goes without problem, but Law's just going a bit short on this one. So Mayazumi inhales 2 of the Bronto Birds right there for a double star, which will instantly kill a Poppy Bros, and a few other mid-bosses, but not all. Mayazumi taking a few hits. One of them maybe intended, the other one didn't seem so. And, unfortunately, also Maya gets hit by the, Blade Knight. You can jump over him pretty cleanly, as long as you time it well, but he's just a bit too slow and gets nicked by the swing.
Those were some pretty good hops over the cannons.
Again, that's another timing section. As long as you have it all, if you jump in the right place, and it's pretty much just full jumps the entire time, then you won't hit anything and you'll land up in the right place. Now both players have the burning ability, which is one of the main abilities, I guess you could say, featured in this run, especially since it's so early. It's a very quick horizontal movement ability. As you can see, Law's player just zooming through this room right here. Just tearing through enemies. Hopefully getting not sniped. Oh, he's going for the maximum tomato with just 2 health. Getting slightly put back. But, burning is great for horizontal travel. But nothing on the vertical side. Mayazumi taking a very unexpected death to Mr. Frosty. This could be Law's chance to catch up. Now Mayazumi's going to have to grab Spark and take Frosty with that. Spark kills faster, but you want burning for the next few rooms. So as long as you stay on the right side of that room and hold right while you use your attack, you, for the most part, won't get hit until he charges at you. You can get a very quick kill with just burning. Law's accidentally sabotaging himself right there. Kills his own ability. So in this game, in Kirby's Adventure, I think it's the only examples of, no, in Kirby's Dream 3 as well, I believe. If you, puff, and your puff hits your ability star that you dropped or got hit with, it'll disappear. It's kind of harsh, but just how the game is.
Laws didn't pick up a backup ability there.
Yeah, neither did Mayazumi. Oh, never mind, Maya did. I'm sorry. So now Laz is going into DDD with no health. And Mayazumi would have probably wanted to finish with World 1 about 10 seconds ago at this rate. But, it's a race, you know, what can you do in this situation? Laz just soft reset, so that pretty much brings you back to the main title screen and makes fills your health and gives you 2 lives.
Probably why she didn't pick up an ability.
Yeah. And takes Spark to Wispy. And again, Spark is faster at killing Wispy than Burning, but Burning is also good for 2-1. And you'll see Mayazumi probably struggle through the rest of this level now, as he already struggled through the first room. Yeah, Tornado's kind of a backup ability. In Kirby's Adventure, Tornado is the main movement ability, but it's been very heavily nerfed in this game. As to make it I don't know, I guess you could say a bit more fair, balanced. I don't know what you want to say, because it's not like it's a fighting game.
Still handy to get through those hard sections, though,
Yeah.
with lots of enemies.
Yep, so Mayazumi's coming up on another double star kill. And this one he drops his ability while facing left. Grabs the burning. Yeah, he gets the higher little step on that as well. It can either be 2 or 3 jumps to climb that, and he landed on the step where you only need 2. There's also a very convenient level because you get pretty much free health right there and coming up right ahead of him. Law's barely behind him, just getting into the wheelie fight now. Or big wheelie. Laz gets double star as well. Wheelie's another ability that, or just wheel, when you have it, is another commonly used ability in this game.
For that sideways move.
Yeah, for sideways movement, of course. You don't get to a lot of vertical movement until butter building, which is just a very tall building.
It's where things really will probably... Butter building's where things will probably start to split, if they split.
Yeah, butter building is even agreed upon by top players to be one of the most difficult worlds to get consistent. So, it's a lot of practice, and even then, there's a tiny bit of RNG that you can't help.
We'll see why in a few minutes.
Of course. So now Mayazumi is, it seems that he messed up the order for killing the, Meta Knights. So the Meta Knights are, they spawn in a set order every time. So each time you kill one, you can pretty much, every single time you kill that guy, every single time you do the fight, the same next guy is going to spawn in the same place. So you can route the fight so that you, do the right thing. It looks like Laz is doing the correct strats right now.
Yeah, great so far.
Laz is doing it very cleanly. Minus that one little hit. Laz did these correct, if you want to call it, order. Mayazumi again using Spark just kills the clock right there. Another thing I'd like to note, Mayazumi's playing on a Japanese cartridge, but that doesn't really change anything in this game, I believe. Besides,
just the text in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, you can tell from that.
Maybe the pause screen.
Still very close into the middle of World 2. With Mayazumi being only about half a level ahead. Now this level's a tiny bit of difficult movement to start right here. You have to time your jump very well if you want to avoid those cannon shots, and Mayazumi's able to do it.
Yep.
Going over the cannon as opposed to the typical under.
I might have to think about that later.
Yeah, here's another example of wheel in the run. While Laz is finishing up the previous level. Mayazumi's in a slightly difficult room, I think. You just have to be able to time your wheel well. See, he unwheeled, I guess you could say, a bit early.
Yeah, but it's still very clean.
Yeah.
I have trouble with that room.
You have to just find out what works for you, I find.
Here's Laz's cannon jumps.
Mayazumi is high jump, which is the regular, I guess you say, fast vertical movement ability. And it's also very strong. It has 2 hitboxes. One on the main tackle and jump, so that's an attack, and then the little blue stars that are created when he cancels his attack by pressing B midair.
Beautiful.
Making Paint Roller to be a easy fight if you do everything properly. He's kind of gained a bit of a reputation as Paint Troller from pretty much all runners. Laz grabbing high jump now, and getting very close to the paint roller fight. So now Mayazumi's in butter building, and high jump is the quintessential ability for this level or world, whatever you want to call it. The game calls them levels, but
they're worlds.
They're worlds. Thank you. Thank you, Rain.
You're welcome. I never know what to call them.
Alright, so Laz got... That's actually the fastest pattern, but it's very easy to troll new players, because he kind of moves out. He looks like he's going to the bottom right, but then he cuts back and goes to the bottom left, and Laz because of that, did not get enough hits on. Paint Roller started to move and hit Laz, causing him to lose a bit of extra time. Mayazumi getting hit by one of those hotheads, I think.
The trolley room. Yes, he got hit.
Yeah, the hotheads are pretty much the biggest trolls in the game because they have an attack that can go through walls, an attack that can hit you all the way across the screen, or they can do nothing. And you really, almost every single time, hope that they do nothing. Maya's getting sword for probably the most difficult mid-boss fight before the 7-2. This is the Bugsy fight, and it's notoriously difficult. So Bugsy essentially just keeps walking out of your sword's range and charges at you, and if he even touches you, then you get stuck in a really long grab animation, and you lose your ability, you take damage, and it's just a mess if you mess it up.
Absolutely.
Right there, that hothead attack right there is one of the, oh, Laz accidentally losing his high jump right there. So one of the
That'll hurt a little bit.
Now he's stuck going upward with nothing. Maya grabs the second high jump in here, which is conveniently after the Bugsy fight, so it wasn't that hard for rooting this section, I believe. Mayazumi climbing a little maze, but it's really just going up. But they kind of want you to explore all the doors, like, oh, can you go this way, can you not? I feel like that was the original intention of it. Laz with some kind of crisp movement right there, jumping over the wheelie. That looks really smooth to me. I don't even go for that, I just go for the slide.
Now she's in a... Laz is in the Bugsy fight.
Yep. It's, especially for newer runners, you want to play it safe.
I know Bugsy gives me more trouble than Fan.
Yeah, Fan's another notoriously difficult boss. So...
Do you want to explain that strat that Mayazumi just did? Take that as a no.
So basically the fast strat lets you inhale 4 or 5 enemies depending on what happens, or depending on what RNG you get, and it kills them much quicker than if you had just high jump. And then you pick up high jump again because the star is bouncing around, and it's very fast, but it's also extremely difficult. Let's see. Yeah, both of them are at the end of the level. So it looks like that they're just pretty much 2 levels apart right now. Laz going with a soft reset with 1 health, I think.
I don't blame her.
Playing it safe as well. That, you can actually drop down and high jump that crash enemy right there. It's very risky, but it saves time, and it saves all the, waiting for the explosion. And then the explosion has a little... pauses the game, kind of a little freeze animation. And yeah. So Laz is going with ability list for this, because obviously he just soft reset, so he doesn't have high jump. Mayazumi drops high jump, but it's no big deal because there's another one in the next room, even though he just chooses to keep it here. He searches for it a little bit. There's a backup maximum tomato in this room as well, if you're low on health. It's in the left of the 3 chambers. Again, 2 level gap. So Laz, since he doesn't have high jump right now, he goes into a little museum, which is free enemies. I have no idea how he just did that. Can you just walk into enemies and kill them in the museum?
I think so, yes.
I didn't know that. I thought that you just get damaged. Mayazumi on pretty good shine and bright fight, sun and moon, whatever you want to call them. A lot of runners like to guess which side they're going to, even as much as MK Cocoon will complain about it, people will guess. I'm a guesser. Do you guess, Rain?
I do not guess.
I always guess moon.
When I guess it's moon, but I don't usually. Laz uses her invincibility to get through that mini-boss easily.
Yeah, that's a very good, quick bonkers fight. You can essentially just stand on top of him and mash B. And now Mayazumi is going to be picking up UFO for one of the few instances that you use it in this run. It's one of the coolest abilities, but the biggest drawback of it is that you can't take it outside of the levels. In Kirby's Adventure, there was a glitch that actually let you take UFO outside of levels, but in this game it's not accepted.
I really like Tornado here. It drops you right in front of the door.
Oh, it is so nice. There are a lot of nice, very convenient tornado movements in this run.
Like, they designed it for it.
Exactly. But there are some levels like where there's not a tornado even close to it, but it still works out perfectly. Yes, not guessed, MK Cocoon. That is a very, wow, okay. Old references. Old speedrunner who pretty much got me into the Kirby scene is, but yeah, that's weird. Mayazumi is going to grab Spark at the end of this room. At 1 health, but there's an energy drink right there, medicine, whatever you call it.
Laws takes down Sun and Moon.
Yeah, you take Spark because it's very good at killing bosses, and there are dual Poppy Bros here. This game has a lot of twin bosses as well. Like just 2 of them on either side, and it's like, yeah, take this on. Okay, so Rain, runner lore. Is there any reason that you choose Moon over Sun when you do guess?
I like blue, and I guess I associate the moon more with that.
That is a very good reason. Shasta also guesses Moon, and he said, I'm a night person. That's why I guess Moon.
Yours is funnier, though.
Yeah, that's true lore. If you don't know what it is, my first word was actually Moon, and I choose Moon because of that. That's it.
I like it.
I think it's honorable. And Laws with the all too perfect, actually there's a word for that, pluperfect movement to the door with Tornado. Again, 2-level difference still. Somewhat consistent through the run right now.
Laws is keeping up pretty well.
Yeah, it's very, Laws dropped a bit behind at one point, but it's just not, the gap's not increasing right now.
With their PBs, you'd expect it to increase, but
Yeah.
doing well.
I'm
Or
not
he,
quite
I don't
sure
know.
what Laz's splits look like, but this could be a PB pace. I am really bad at guesstimating that.
Me too.
Going through the wheel room, that was very notoriously hard to get to that room on the left. Mayazumi's grabbing Spark for Fan, which is a very annoying fight.
What's happening with Laws?
Oh, no ability going into the double Poppy Bros
She's
fight.
just standing there, or they're just standing there.
Oh, because I bet she thinks it'll put her out in the... Yeah, she's gonna go back and grab Spark, it looks like. Yep.
Oh, I see.
It looks like, yeah, she was distracted there a bit as well. Yeah, did you see how she just jumped through Poppy Bros there? Spark gives you some really weird properties. I don't quite understand it. So Mayazumi just killed Fan and picked up Throw. And this is a little invincibility candy section. Every single time I almost say rare candy. But yeah. But yeah, Throw is essentially... It's kind of, you inhale the enemies, but the stars are bigger, and you just hold them. And they all act as like double stars, and they do a lot of damage.
You can hit 3 guys at a time here.
More than 3. You can hit as many as there are lined up, but
I don't usually see more than 3 lined up.
yeah, there's never going to be more than 3 lined up. So Mayazumi's also going to go to another difficult section after that, if you're unfamiliar with the room. You've got a lot of spikes here, and Fireball doesn't completely protect you from spikes. But the hitboxes are very tiny and very close to the ground. It's kind of like Piranha Plants in Super Mario Bros. 1. You have a little bit of leeway there. Law's just getting out of the windy room. And into the, I didn't even get to make my joke about it the first time, so I'm gonna call it the second. Maya grabs sword for the upcoming TikTok clock fight, and now Laz is in the chicken cutlet room. Because I see on almost all the races I've commentated, people have taken sword into there. Hence, they're looking for some dinner. But I didn't see it today, so there's no joke to be made.
Too bad. Really nice Mayazumi getting through that dark room.
MK Cocoon is also informing me that Laz is a guy, so I think I just went with what you said, or maybe I misunderstood.
My bad. You were calling him a guy. That was me.
It's okay, don't worry. So Mayazumi's grabbing high jump for the Krakow fight. Now Krakow boss stage is unique in that there's a little build up to it before. It's like a little kind of climb the ladder sort of thing. And it's the only real boss stage that is has a pre-level to it. I kind of like to compare it to the Bowser stages in Super Mario 64. It's like, yeah, you entered the stage, but there's no boss yet. So Krakow, earlier I talked about the two hitboxes of high jump. You have the main tackle and the secondary hit. If you get 6 tackles and 6 secondary hits, that's all it takes. But if you miss even one of the secondary hits, which does significantly less damage than the tackle, you need a 7th jump. So that's just how it is with this. It's kind of precise. So Mayazumi is going to see our first use of the secret room in the run, which is right below this little cloud platform, and take Stone, because Stone makes you accelerate quicker in this game, and breaks typical laws of physics, but you do reach a terminal velocity.
Very nice.
Yes.
A little bit of learning in a speedrun.
Of course. So now, Maya's on to World 5, which I personally believe is one of... Oh, lozplyr dies in the burning room to the spikes. Yeah, so, I find World 5 to be one of the easier worlds, but that's just me.
Going around the stage, right?
Is taking the high road now and grabbing the health. Mayazumi's going to grab ball. This is the first instance of ball in the run, and what most people don't use it on their first playthrough is because it's extremely unwieldy and hard to use, and if you can't figure it out, like, you pretty much realize, well, there's some other good alternatives to this. But it's actually the strongest ability in the game. Which
does
is
a ton of damage.
Oh, so much damage. It 2 hits bonkers in this upcoming fight. Watch this. 1, 2. It's ridiculous.
So much fun once you get the hang of it.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
Frustrating before then, yeah.
Okay, so lozplyr is in the dark room right here. I didn't get to talk about this a lot, but one, I don't know what else to call it. It's just a dark room, and it's not a Binding of Isaac reference. And 2, that enemy with the sunglasses that Laz just killed gives you light. Now, light is completely useless other than lighting up dark rooms. It doesn't do any damage, so the best thing you can do is if you get it accidentally in a mix, is drop it. So Mayazumi's going, he's in another wheel room right here, and this room was obviously one of the tailored rooms for wheel. The designer said, oh, let's just troll and put him into the spike pit here. But all the speedrunners know, you don't expect a third hump to be there. You have to cancel a wheel.
Can't use a wheel over top of those blocks.
Yeah, and you can't. So Mayazumi's doing a bit quicker strats to this. He's not playing it extremely safe, but he gets through very well. That's pretty normal speed strats right there. You're dropping through, it's a quick puff, change direction.
Oh.
Yeah, lozplyr dying on Krakow unexpectedly. But luckily there's another high jump that always spawns at the bottom.
Another death would hurt. You're at 0 lives.
Yeah, that can be remedied by soft resetting as well. It just sets your lives to 2. Mayazumi with a very bold burning in that little plank right there, and it works. So you're like, oh, I've got burning, what a great horizontal ability, but then you're like, oh, Meta Knights, guess I'll just go normal. And that's the real strat right here. I'm not quite familiar with the fast pattern in this fight, but yeah, you just go through it, it's not a huge deal. So that ball right there that Mayazumi just inhaled is can kind of troll you as well. Oh, Mayazumi almost falling off. He goes for the fast strats, but if you jump and ball in the right place, you can essentially safely bounce through the entire room to that secret door and save like 2 or 3 seconds.
It doesn't save much, and it's practically leads to a death.
Yeah, if you don't know it well, you will die. No
doubt
yeah. About it.
Ball also breaks the laws of physics.
Yes, absolutely. So, ball, you saw it bounce to the left there with toward Mayazumi, pretty much like looking like it was trying to help him out. But sometimes the ball can jump off to the right of the screen, and in one of my PB runs, it just went off and killed itself. Like, it jumped off the stage, and I was very confused. So I had to respawn him, and it cost me about 13 seconds. So,
it happens sometimes.
It's one of the stupid things that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Ball also makes you accelerate very quickly downwards.
Similarly to stone.
Yes. I don't know if it's like as fast as or like it's somewhere around there though. But Mayazumi's taking ball into the fire line fight. You can either grab sword or keep ball here. And it looks like Mayazumi's a ball kind of guy, even though he's getting grabbed like Oh, that is a very unfortunate grab right there. It looks like he's playing against like a Marth and he's a Spacey. But yeah, Fire Line basically gives you burning, and Mayazumi misses the hole-in-one right there. It's a little one tile gap that you can go through. And it's really cool if you get it. Not a big deal if you don't. Almost getting sniped by the lasers as well at the very end of the room. That'd have been a costly death. Laws going again for the 2-hit on the bonkers. Look, you don't even need to be moving fast with ball. Like, the speed that you go doesn't even correlate with the damage that you do. Mayazumi gets wheel in this room, and this is a tailor-made wheel. It's the entire level. It's like, do you think the developers want you to get wheel here? Like, are you getting a message rain? Like, something about it just says, like, maybe you should get wheel here. I'm not quite sure what it is.
I think they're a bit too subtle.
Yeah, I don't really know. And then they put a bunch of these long rooms right here where you can, like, go on the water. I feel like you only know if you play through. You can't tell that they want you to get it. So, the heavy mole fight is coming up, and we're going to see our first kind of mandatory mix of the run. So Mayazumi's going to inhale 2. Yep, just like that. He inhales 2 wheelies, and if you hold down and A at the same time, you're going to get the first frame of your mix. And the first frame of a wheel-wheel mix is Hammer, which is an extremely damaging ability. And you kill Heavy Mole very easily with it.
None of the regular enemies actually give you Hammer, I believe.
That is correct. You can only get Hammer from Bonkers or a mix. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So now Mayazumi is in World 6, which is Orange Ocean. And everything is tinted orange here, surprise, surprise. And affectionately named in my splits as Hell. Like all the other things, it's like, oh, you know, whatever the regular names of the things are, like Yogurt Yard or Rainbow... I can only think of Rainbow Ride because I'm a Super Mario 64 addict, but...
Does that have anything to do, its name, with the... What is it, Tornado Struts coming up?
Oh yeah, it's the Tornado Strats. So basically you get Tornado in 6-2, and it's the only tornado in the world. And you want to keep it entirely to 6-6. And it's... You might think, like, you kind of do that with Burning in the beginning, but these levels are a lot harder, and I really like this movement from Mayazumi right now. He seems to have been practicing right here. Yep, so you have to fly up and puff that crash enemy before he's able to attack. It creates a little bit of delay, and it's annoying. Lozplyr also on a Meta Knights fight with 1 health, which is historically not gone well. As we see another shortcoming there. Mayazumi grabbing Tornado, and he has 5 health. This is probably the most difficult section of the run. It's very tight all the time, and there's like no mercy. Triple tornadoing, you can do 2 or 3. 3 just puts you a bit too far, and 2 you can just run up to the door. But 3 is a lot safer, I believe. And Laz is on the ball. I doubt he's going to try and do anything ball bouncing related and just fly over the top, because that's a legitimate strategy. The Mayazumi, yeah, that's what I do. I've got a 44. It's what I do. So Mayazumi's on the Bonkers fight now. Bonkers takes 8 hits from Tornado, and a very typical fight goes 4 and 4, and Mayazumi gets the 2 cycle.
Very nice. Ooh!
And Mayazumi killing his own Tornado. That is going to cost him.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, Tornado, you might say like, oh, that wasn't that great for those 2 levels. You kind of needed to use it very situationally and careful. But in 6.5 and 6.6, it's indispensable. It takes you over a lot of annoying levels. And actually, even here, I think 2 tornadoes put you exactly at the door. But now he has to go through a bunch of rooms with Scarfies dropping down and those, I don't quite know what they're called, shooting the things upward at you. And he's just taking damage left and right. When you have Tornado, you don't even sweat about that room.
And with 1 health, that was pretty scary.
Yeah, if I were him, I'd have soft reset. Yep, just like that. Okay. lozplyr onto the fire line fight with Ball, and much better executed than Mayazumi's. And he also accidentally inhales Ball when he drops his abilities. So now he's going to just have to deal with that for this room. Now this is the room that Mayazumi is going through is usually my biggest concern with keeping Tornado. That cutter enemy is no problem to kill, but that sword right there, that Blade Knight, can either single slash or double slash, and if he double slashes and you're too close, he gains just a bit of extra range, and he will kill it, and the ability bounces straight into the spikes that are right behind you.
Oh, here you go.
Entering the Nut Shack. Every single run, I will commentate on the Nut Shack. And this is, yeah, the Nut Shack extension.
You get 1 more chance in a few minutes.
Yeah, exactly. lozplyr in the very subtle wheel room. Like, if you're at 1 health in this room, like, on this level, you don't even worry, because you know that you can easily soft reset right after it, and go back in, pick up the thing. So that room that Mayazumi went through, 1 tornado takes you exactly to the door again. It's like this world was made for Tornado, but then it's like, we're just not going to put it in any of the levels.
Brilliant.
Like, of course. Why else would they do?
No idea. Nothing else makes sense.
Now, this room right here, there are a lot of Waddle Doos that run at you very fast, and then they do their,
And those beam guys jump very high.
They jump high as well. Run fast, jump high, that's the motto of track and field. But with Tornado, you do 3 attacks, it takes you right to the door. Again, blue perfect.
Laz is getting just a little bit beat up by the heavy mole.
Yep. 2 tornado attacks takes you to the end of this room that Mayazumi's in, and now he's going to have to deal with like 5 or 6 enemies on the ground. Now Mayazumi's grabbing sword to deal with all of the UFOs in here. Well, it's a usually really rare ability, and you'd spring, in a casual playthrough at least, any chance to get, you're like, oh wow, that's so cool. They are really, really annoying. And you're going to need an ability for the upcoming fight, because you got Twin Frosty. No, he doesn't grab an ability! That is very exceptional. He's hoping for a double ice, and he gets the double ice block. That is very, very good RNG. So you basically need a double star to kill both of those enemies, and he just guessed about getting, I don't know, I'd say a 25% chance or less, probably less, and to kill those Frosties immediately. That is some unbelievable luck and planning right there. Pre-recorded. I cannot stress how crazy that was.
If he were to have taken a death or lost that last health he had, the UFOs don't respawn. They're the only enemy that doesn't do that.
Exactly. Thank you for pointing that out as well. Now Laz is going into Orange Ocean 6-2, Orange Ocean 2 with 1 health, and he dies. That's probably better than trying to do this whole thing with 1 health.
Agreed.
Mayazumi's onto the Meta Knight fight. It's very RNG based. He can parry your attacks in this game, and he can jump around, and he's very annoying. Mayazumi getting decent RNGs. Well, now he's starting to parry, but
Overall, not too bad.
yeah. You can't exactly control what Meta Knight does at all. It's not like any of the other bosses where he moves in a lot of them move in a set pattern.
Nope, it's total luck.
Yeah. That's kind of payback for the scripted double ice block.
Now we know at least he's not cheating.
Yeah. And lozplyr grabbing the tornado right here. So Mayazumi's taking Sword into this ice block room right here. Aptly named from the ice blocks. Also a very interesting choice to drop Sword and inhale the health there. But very smart considering 7-2 is coming up.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah, so the old strats had you regularly picking up Spark in that room, but Suzure Bako, an old school runner, and one that I absolutely admire, and kind of my inspiration for running this game, a Japanese runner. Yep,
there we go.
Another first frame mix, hit down and ate the same frame. But Suzure Bako figured out that using Sword and doing the jump attack saved 2 or 3 seconds on that room, I think. So it's
I find it a lot more fun too.
It is. lozplyr going with a 5-hit, then a 3-hit, making for a perfect 1 cycle on that. So Mayazumi's entering 7-2, the most difficult thing. It's pretty much just a boss gauntlet. And remember how we said ball was OP? Like, you are going to be, like, relying on it very heavily here. Some RNG in the bosses, but as long as you react properly, like that Fan attack, there's not a big problem. So Fan is a very annoying grab boss, just like Bugsy. But, yeah, he handled it very well. Unlike this Bugsy fight, he balled a bit too early, and now has to deal with some more annoying Bugsy stuff. There's another grab and throw. It always makes your star go in like the opposite direction as well, which is another very annoying thing. 2 health for Fireline shouldn't be a big problem. lozplyr doing a very good job to keep Tornado where Mayazumi couldn't.
That'll help him pick up some time there.
Yeah, absolutely. Tornado was huge for World 6. Like, I was commentating on every single thing that he was just a bit short of time on. So now lozplyr can hopefully get through this difficult part. Oh, tornadoing there is such a bad option. You'd never want a tornado there.
Spikes will kill the tornado.
That was very, very close. No! lozplyr falling to the Gordo right there.
Ooh,
and
that
it
hurt.
tanks the spikes. Probably going to grab the health to his right. Mayazumi gets the maximum tomato at the end of 7-2. They're very nice enough to give you full health back. They know what you've been through. The devs have got you on this one. lozplyr in the nut shack. Mayazumi going through another ice room. So Kirby's a very light character. Like, if you haven't figured out already. Ice physics make it even harder to turn.
But it's not so bad with that invincibility candy.
Yeah, another invincibility candy that takes you through the entire level. And very good spacing to land right on the door as well. So Mayazumi's, that ball right there might help Mayazumi later. We don't know what he's going to do, or if he's going to get the mix in 7-6. But ball kills DDD for us. So this is the clock rooms right here. You've got your little hands at 12 and 6 for the first 2 rooms. And then the next 2, you've got them at 12, 3, 9, and 6. Well, 6 and 9. Why'd I go out of order? The first 2 rooms are RNG where the enemies move. But in the second 2, it's you can predict where they're going to be.
Oh, skips the shock one as well.
Yeah, he skips Spark, which is often used in this level to make it a lot easier and a lot safer. So you can just use Spark to kill all those enemies right there. And it's also you can also Spark that block there and not worry about having to slide very specifically.
Looks like Maya's got it though.
But he's very much got it. Loz at 1 health, mixing UFOs and getting laser, which is one of the weakest abilities. Ooh, sniped by the UFO with his own laser.
And now we'll see the UFOs don't reappear as they don't respawn.
Yeah, making the room, it's kind of like a room of shame at this point. There's at least a few more that he can inhale. And he will take it right there. He's probably going to go for the big charge shot. Ooh, very risky going for the maximum tomato. Very, very risky. So Mayazumi goes for the crash strats on this wheelie. So the wheelie can turn around and
Ooh.
yeah, lozplyr getting the double star. That's the typical strats.
Maya getting terrible RNG.
Yeah. So wheelie, yeah, that jump right there. You need him to pretty much spawn a wheelie for you to shoot back at him when you use crash. If you bring Spark into that room, you actually eliminate all the RNG. But it's I think it's a bit slower. Mayazumi almost dying in that room there to the downward wind. Wheel is very important to keep through 5-6, 5-7. lozplyr on the last Meta Knight's fight, the icy Meta Knight's fight. And of course, the ice physics absolutely wreak havoc on everything you thought you knew about Kirby and how to control him.
Maya's in a throwback room to, I believe, the original Kirby game, Kirby's Adventure? Dreamland.
Dreamland.
That's it.
Adventure was the first one with abilities. And
I
that's the one
see.
that this game is based off of. It's not exactly an HD remaster, as some people would call it, because there are some different levels and the physics are very different, making for very different speedruns, actually.
More of a remake rather than a remaster, yeah.
Yeah. Mayazumi playing it a bit risky with Wheel here, but accidentally losing it there as well. You're going to see why he wants it in these next few rooms, too.
Goes for the tomato.
Because he has time. lozplyr getting an okay Meta Knight fight.
Not much you can do about that.
Yeah, nothing you can do about Meta Knight RNG. I know there's a lot of games with where you can manipulate RNG, but this isn't one of them. So now Mayazumi finishing up the level. There's going to be a parasol waddle do that flies down, and he drops his parasol when he spawns. Oh, he doesn't
Doesn't go for it. I don't
that's a
either.
second frame mix. And if
Which
I
is a
remember
lot harder.
properly, each ability shows up for 4 frames. So you have to hit A or B between frames 5 and 8, which is very difficult. And he just grabs the ball in 7-4, which is, if you're not comfortable with the mix, pretty normal. Laz only having 3 health going into the boss tower is very concerning. Oh,
Ooh.
and he kills the stone!
At this point, I would kill myself to get the health back.
Usually the best idea, actually. So Mayazumi kills DDD with ball. That's, as long as he doesn't inhale you, you're pretty fine. And now he's on the first phase of Nightmare, which we call Orb. For, actually, why do we call it Orb, Rain? Can you explain that to me?
Well, I think it has something to do with its rather square shape.
Yeah, I'm sure they're just making fun of that. lozplyr dying, but not getting the mix again. This is really costing him right now. Finally, he's able to get it, and he's finally able to carry on to 7-2. So Mayazumi, after killing Orb with stars, onto the last stage of the last boss fight, which is Nightmare. So with Nightmare, it's a set pattern every single time, and even if you aren't able to get it in the first cycle, his pattern repeats. So it's a very linear boss. If you stand on the left side of the screen, then he'll never be able to hit you unless he snipes you in one very specific way. So
Which Maya's not doing.
Yeah. If you stand a third of the way to the screen on the left, then you also can't get hit. That's what
I did not know that.
Yeah, I only learned that the other day. So there's 2 attacks that you can do with Star Rod, which is either shoot a star or use your jump spinning attack.
The star does a lot more damage.
Yeah, the star does a lot more damage. Laz having a little bit of trouble with Fan right now, who just got hit earlier, and getting grabbed for a 3rd time, is it 4th maybe, on this fight. That was
Did
very
end up
close.
taking him out.
Mayazumi with a very good finish and a 44-13 in the race.
Fantastic.
Good game. Oh yeah, I want to mention that I didn't really comment on it, but that orb that he had was absolutely insane. Like, that was a very clean fight. And Laz clutching the 1 health Fire Lion as well. That's impressive.
Took out Bugsy with that 1 health as well.
Yes, and Bugsy. That's very, very good. And I know a lot of higher level players who would not be comfortable with that at all. So, let's see if we can get Maya in here for, a little bit of an interview. If we can get him to join us. Yeah, I'm typing in chat now to see if you can get him. Lozplyr in, unfortunately getting hit by those Bronto birds in the ice room right here. Grabbing the maximum tomato. Ice physics are very annoying in this game. 44-13 is not a bad time at all. I'd say if you can get anything around there, like on a race run, I consider you a pretty serious player. Lozplyr accidentally inhaling the hermit crab and dying. That's very unlucky. Oops. Alright, Laz making it out of 7-3. Dying on 7-3, but not 7-2 is, not commonly heard of. Doesn't happen a lot. So he takes Tornado in this room, even though it's not really going to help him later, because now he's in the clock rooms. Yeah, Law's having some difficulty. If you don't know what the patterns the enemies are going to be in, it's,
I seem to be back. This is Chooch again, for those of you who do not recall, and who haven't heard my smooth, buttery voice in 5 minutes. I'm just kidding, I hate my voice on recordings. But yeah, I'm back. And, well, the race is over. Very good game to both runners, and you should definitely follow both of them, because they put a lot of time and effort into this, and, especially with this race coming up, people have been playing this game absolutely non-stop. And I'm sure that they would love it if if you could follow them, the commentators as well. Me and Rain both very much appreciate it. It helps runners, it helps everyone. But a very good race from both competitors today. Both with a few blunders, but Loz was able to keep up with Mayazumi for the most part of the run, falling behind every so often with an untimely death or anything, but making up with a very good World 6 as well, keeping Tornado throughout the entire, most of when he needed it. Maya and Rain, by the way, you're both muted.
Hello, hello.
Hello. So,
Dude, oh my god.
yeah, well, at least you got it out in the early rounds, you know, all the mistakes, race time jitters. You know, it's going to be worse when you have to go up against someone who with a closer time to yours, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my run is still good because I didn't play the game like a year ago, so it's still fine for me.
Yeah, you know, you can come back to this game after a long time, and I feel like you go through the rooms and it's like, oh, I totally forgot that was meant, totally forgetting a strat or some enemy meaning to be there. But for the most part, you retain a lot of game information even with a big gap in this game. It's very linear.
Mm-hmm.
And you did a very good job coming back. That Frosty fight that you have, I'm still thinking about that. There was the UFOs sitting right behind you, and you went, nah, I'm just hoping he gives me the double ice. And he did.
Yeah, the Frosty in round 4, I didn't think if I can hit by him, but
Yeah. That was
that happened. I die and I lose Tornado in World 6.
Yeah, I saw you practicing World 6, the more difficult room with the cutter and the sword enemy, and then the water. And, you know, whenever I'm running, I'm thinking, if I lose Tornado anywhere, that's where it's going to be. And it just happens to hit you at some completely random point like that. It's very unfortunate. Got an extremely clean orb fight as well right after DDD. That was very, very exceptional, I think.
Yeah, that was sick, dude. Like a perfect battle in World 8. I didn't expect that. But, well, in the World 6-4, it was a really clean room.
Mm-hmm.
Only
Hey, we're back.
if I did a lose Tornado early, maybe I can save a little time there.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see you in later races, because I really think you're only going to improve for now. You know, just getting all the rust off in this race. And it's kind of good to de-rust in a race, because it forces you to play the whole game, you know? And in this tournament, in the tournament setting as well, it really forces you to, you know, no resets, can't go back, you have to know your backup strats.
Mm-hmm. Well, I back in Kirby because I have a new GameCube, so that is why I can play again this game. But it still arrived 8 months later than I expected. So
that's ridiculous. What is it? Chilean shipping must be awful.
yeah, it
Going
does.
over an ocean?
Yeah, that's really annoying. I've heard I know a few other Chilean runners, they complain about, you know, similar things as well. It's really hard to get stuff for speedrunning.
Yeah, this is a good game to learn. It's
a very good game to learn.
It's not that difficult than anyone. But well, optimize this game is hard a lot to optimize this game. So yeah.
Yeah, easy to pick up, hard to master. Like, there's such like when you pick up, anyone can pick up the game, but then like if you do like a pretty good deathless run, you can easily get like sub-hour with barely knowing the game, and then in a month, I think I improved from like a 52 to like a 44. It's like anyone can do it with even a little bit of commitment,
Mm-hmm.
It's a good speed game, I think, because also just like the physics in it as well. It's like fun and controlling feels natural. It's a good game to pick up.
Hello.
Hey, Laws.
Hey,
Very nice job.
Thanks. GG, Mayazumi.
GG loss.
Like that went, Laws.
Excuse me?
How do you feel like your race went?
For not playing the game in the last 4 days, I felt like I did my best, and I'm okay with that.
One thing I noticed about your run right away, you had an extremely clean second half of your 7-2. Your Bugsy and your Fireline were
I know, I
very immaculate.
I was petrified because it was the 1 health nerves with the ball, so that was scary.
Yeah, that's a very scary situation to be in. I was saying, I know top runners who would be like losing their cool at this point easily. Like, it's very unsafe, but you're able to pull it off.
Yeah.
I think you also did a good job of keeping Tornado through all of World 6, one of the more difficult feats in the game.
I don't think I kept World. I don't think
Oh, no, you kept it for most of World 6. You kept it like to 6-5 or something.
I lost it a little bit sooner than you did, so it was a good help for you.
Yeah, it definitely gained you some time.
Okay.
Any other thoughts on this run about your run in losers bracket now?
For my run and losers bracket? I don't know. Now that I actually have more time to practice, maybe I'll get a little farther. But
Yeah.
Any
idea who you have to go up against?
Be
Right.
up against Professor Magus.
Magus. Yeah, I commentated his match.
I think it'll be a good run.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, yeah. I'm looking forward to the race.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. I've been watching almost every single race in this because I've been commentating almost every single race in this, but that's just how it is.
I've been watching a lot of this. Really good so far. Really enjoying watching.
Oh yeah, as well. Close races as well. They're coming up in the next few rounds. I know my race tomorrow is very close. Jumpy and I have exchanged like whoever's leading the PB like 2 or 3 times in the past week. So it's
That's
been
a good one.
a bop fest.
He and Sonic, Faster Supersonic, they're not too far away in PBs as well. It's just like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, it's been a very good race, and thank you for this little talk afterwards. But I think I must be on my way right now, and I'm sure that there's a few more events scheduled on Speed Gaming too.
I have a link to the past, yes.
Of course. I mean, when in doubt, you can probably just say link to the past randomizer. Alright, well, I'm Chooch236, and thank you for watching. Maybe
And the
I'll be
Rainmakers.
yeah, I might be on later tonight for the 9 o'clock match. And thank you very much for tuning in.